ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशर्षिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीवेदव्यासवैशम्पायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्यशङ्करादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्त गुरूणां देवतानां श्रुतिमातुः परब्रह्मणानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव सिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं समस्त सनातन धर्म भक्त साधक सेवक संस्थापकानां समस्त शक्ति प्राप्ति द्वारा शत्रु विघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा विजय प्राप्त्यर्थं श्री तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ पारायणम् in our today's parayana portion I believe we have to start the Tritiya Bhruguvalli. Spend those 5-6 minutes together in chanting our Upanishad mantras. Always good. Om अथ तृतीया भृगुवल्ली शांति मंत्रः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। भृगुर्वै वारुणिः वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तस्मा एतत् प्रोवाच अन्नं प्राणं चक्षुश्रोत्रं मनोवाचमिति तगं होवाच। यतो वा इमानि भूतानि जायन्ते येन जातानि जीवन्ते यत्प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्ते तद्विजिज्ञासत्स्व तद्ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा अन्नं ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात्। अन्नाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते अन्नेन जातानि जीवन्ते अन्नं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्ते ते तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच। तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा प्राणो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात्। प्राणाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते प्राणेन जातानि जीवन्ते प्राणं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्ते ते तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच। तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा मनो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात्। मनसो ह्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते मनसा जातानि जीवन्ते मनः प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्ते ते तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच। तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा विज्ञानं ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् विज्ञानाध्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते विज्ञानेन जातानि जीवन्ते विज्ञानं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तेति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीः भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुंहोवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्युत स तपस्तप्त्वा आनंदो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् आनन्दाध्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते आनन्देन जातानि जीवन्ते आनन्दं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तेति सैषा भार्गवी वारुणी विद्या परमे व्योमन् प्रतिष्ठिता य एवं वेद प्रतितिष्ठति अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तरीय उपनिषद ॐ यस्मात् जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ॐ अथ शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावीत तद्वक्तारमावीत आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 अथ प्रथमोऽनुवागः ॐ ब्रह्मविदाप्नोति परं तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म यो वेद निहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन् सोऽश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् सह ब्रह्मणा विपश्चितेति तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाशः सम्भूतः आकाशाद्वायुः वायोरग्निः अग्नेरावः अद्भ्यः पृथिवी पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधीभ्योऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः स वा एष पुरुषोऽन्नरसमयः तस्येदमेव शिरः अयं दक्षिणः पक्षः अयमुत्तरः पक्षः अयमात्मा इदं पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति ॐ शान्तिः 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 Having saluted Parabrahma Shruti Mata, all the Brahma Vidya Acharya, Rishi Muni Guru and Devatas, saluting our own Taittiriya Acharya Parampara of Vedavyasa, Vaishampayana Yagnavalkya and Adi Shankara and all our Gurus. In spirituality, what is first and foremost important thing is knowing what is to be achieved and then always keeping intact the desire to achieve, even though at our present position we may not be in a position or capacity of doing the due or required sadhanas because of our various weaknesses, inabilities, inefficiencies, insufficiencies, the required amount of sadhana for the moksha we may not have right now. Required amount of abilities to do sadhana. But does it mean that we should not pursue? If we don't pursue it, then we will go back into earlier worldliness on samsara only. So, the left to ourselves, we enter into samsara. Do the sadhana, but we don't have that intellectual stamina, the emotional desire, or emotional that thing, and the other variety of qualities that are required. That physical level, inability to sit for hours together for meditation, or even not able to clearly understand what is said in Shastra, all the logics, all the explanations. This is how everybody goes through. But what makes one go away from sadhana? What makes one to stick on to sadhana? Continuously he reaches, till he reaches goal. The difference is the earlier one gave up. Ki, I am not able to do the sadhana. But the later one did not give up because he maintained some understanding that there is Paramatma having whom gained whom there is moksha. That understanding he went on renewing, refreshing. At the same time, I want to achieve that state, I want to reach to that state, I want to experience the bliss of the self, I want to get liberated from this upadhi and all. This desire, when it is always kept, maintained, afresh, renewed, along with this, whatever sadhana today we are able to do, that much if we can do, and if anything possible to add, if we can add, then slowly and steadily we can grow. This is how it happens, spirituality may. Suddenly nothing is understood, suddenly nothing is remembered, suddenly you cannot sit for meditation, and suddenly we cannot go beyond our the panchakoshas, go beyond all our mana buddhi. ऐसा नहीं होता हो. It's a very slow, steady, gradual process, more slower than a blossoming of a flower. And it's an evolution, as we say so many times. Therefore, we have to be consistently on that. The basic thing today, what we discussed is that maintain that ichha, maintain that desire. Like the desire maintained to continue the study of Shastra in the class is somehow pulling us to the class in spite of so many other pulls and pushes otherwise, including our nidra or many other things. And for the time to pass, nothing is required to be done. You can just sit on your own bed and looking at the chipkali. You can spend the whole time of 1.5 hour from 7:30 to 9, where you could have come for Upanishad class. टाइम बीतने के लिए तो कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है, टाइम तो चलता ही रहता है. So, in spite of so many other possibilities of distractions, if you and I are coming daily to sit in class, is that desire to go, desire to listen. That's it. If one day that goes away, then that day all the enemies which are always waiting outside, they attack us. The moment the desire is weaker, then every day all other things become stronger. Then anything can be an excuse. So many things. Luckily, none of you are victims those excuses. You are only some obligations come, then that is inevitable, therefore you go. That's how you are the only ones who are blessed with the Brahma Vidya every day. The other people who are not that much committed, so they have all the inner enemies attacking them and easily defeating. Anything it can be. So let us keep that light, the flame of a desire to be more intensely, deeply spiritual, to experience the self, always fully burning. There are say na that shahidi jagah pe वो मशाल लगाते हैं लैंप लाइट and there is a supply of this gas from below. Continuously it is there. You have seen it in Jallianwala Bagh and other places. In the same way, our flame of wanting to know the truth, establish in the truth, experience the Brahman, has to always glow. Then, how to do it? The question comes. Then, through meditation. On what you meditate? On the knowledge. Where the knowledge comes from the Upanishad. Then who will teach and where the Upanishad is taught? In the class. Therefore, let me go to the class. Then after the class, let me do the homework. सो इतना मेहनत जरूर डेली करना है, इतना प्रगति और ग्रोथ लिटिल बिट एटलीस्ट वी हैव टू ट्राई दिस मच इन कासा. You understand that with a small hydrogen helium coming together only, or oxygen coming together only, water is made. A small virus comes and slowly it spreads and does its big work. A cyclone in the ocean, it doesn't happen just like that, the depression. Slowly it starts and slowly it goes on becoming such a tornado or whatever, big size. Same way, we will do little definitely. Class, yeah. Study, yes. Study at home, yes. Contemplation, yes. Little of attempt, yes. उतना छोड़ना नहीं और वो उत्साह मेंटेन करना है और डिजायर मेंटेन करना है. If that desire gone away, with the utsaha gone away, all the gurus, gods put together also cannot pull us back to our study of Shastra. Then for that life it is over then. That's those people who are irregular now to our classes. Lost, that's all gone. Once that mechanical way of living life externally happens, it is so powerful that it covers our mind intellect of spiritual goals so much that we just involve in it. इतना पावरफुल होता है वो माया, इतना पावरफुल होता है वो रजो तमो गुण. Like even me, if I stop doing classes 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, enough to be lost in so many things other than Paramatma. A spiritual seeker will have to guard against all these things within. And the only thing is desire. I must study Shastras. I must deeply understand them. I must come to the level of able to contemplate. I must be spending hours together in Dhyanam, which is very essential in the Dhyana Avastha. As said, transcending all the Panchakoshas or the Triputis, I must experience that Paramatma. In that way, entertain karna. At the same time, every day in class, whatever the subject we are studying, essence of that, at least one or two thoughts we should catch. ओके आज का ये टॉपिक था, इसमें ये विषय कहा है. लाइक दे से ना द बुलेट पॉइंट्स और द सिनॉप्सिस और द एसेंस और द मेन थॉट और एटलीस्ट वन थॉट. That way we can add to our knowledge, we can strengthen our knowledge with the desire. Like from today onwards, when I go on doing the desire, I must meditate, I must know the truth, I must meditate, I must know the truth. When this desire is entertained and made stronger, somehow from outside the Lord's grace, from inside the mind also, because the strength of the desire gets molded slowly for those meditations. It may not be immediate. It may be after 2 साल और 5 साल और 10 साल और अगले जन्म में, depending on our prarabdha, depending on our samskaras, depending on Ishvara Krupa, depending on strength of our prayers, depending on the vairagya we have got, all these things on which it depends how long it will take, but maintain the desire. Who knows if the desire is stronger enough and no prarabdhas are there many, then by Ishvara Krupa and our own desire, we may within few months' time keep everything aside, may enter into dhyana. If Krupa is there, if our prarabdha is over. Nahi to kya hai? How much ever you want to do desire meditation, if the health is not okay, you can never do it. If the mind is not peaceful, you can never do it. If there is spell issue is there at home, you can't do it. इतने सारे समस्याएं होते हैं आध्यात्मिकता में. We are sharing all this only to have an idea and be confident. Never be losing the heart seeing all these problems. That's why I said, कुछ भी हो जाए, I must. Some people, when any of the risk they are in, flown in the river because of the floods or lost in jungle or any valley, when they lose the hope, immediately they die. But those who keep up their hope of life, even 10 hour, 12 hour, 14 hour. So the other day that man, he was lost in between two mountains, two hillocks. विचित्र रूप से उल्टा हाथ बाहर है, सर नीचे है, पाँव ऊपर है, पूरा बाहर नहीं, अंदर गया। He can't bring his anything by his own effort. Only they have to drill that huge mountain, then he bring out. He was 43 hours he was alive. मैं तो सोचा मैं तो 1 घंटे में मर जाने वाला डर के मारे. 43 hours he was alive and he was brought out. He is now safe. How much his will to live must be stronger that he sustained so many hours. देखो मुश्किल है वो ऐसे एक पोजीशन में उल्टा शीर्षासन में एक दो पहाड़ के बीच में रहना वेयर यू हैंड्स आर लॉक्ड इट इज बिटवीन टू उतना ही था पहाड़ यू कांट पुल द हैंड ऊपर या नीचे विद द हेड यू कैन नॉट डू द लेग्स कैन नॉट वर्क how his desire to will made others work for desire to live made the entire team work for and they removed and he was alive. Same way, the desire as it is making a slave in the world. It's a desire only, no? Desire to eat, desire to enjoy, desire to have people in life, desire. Everything is desire only. इच्छा कहते हैं उसको. But all of them are Ashubha Ichhas. They are more powerful than this desire. Therefore, all our minds, thoughts, activities are towards that. That day when the desire of Paramatma is more stronger than them, then our sadhana will be more for spirituality. Else, our all attention efforts will be only for samsara. So, how many things? Maintain the desire to know the truth and all. Then, whatever we are able to spare time for class, we do that. Whatever in the class said, the synopsis of that for that day, we try to catch. Whatever sadhana we are able to do at home, little bit, a notch up. If this much we can do, we are on the right path. It this much हमारे हाथ में भगवान देते हैं. बाकी उन्हीं के हाथ में है. वी कैन नॉट डू एवरीथिंग विदाउट ईश्वर कृपा. एक कुछ भी आगे कदम बढ़ ही नहीं सकते हम बढ़ा ही नहीं सकते. So, but little some is with us. That little what is in our hands, if we can do, rest which is there in his hands, he will do. Like the doctor, थोड़ा patient respond करे ना, मैं treatment कर देता हूँ. I tell you, he's not responding. If he responds, suddenly the doctors become active, then they do everything is back to normal. In the same way, when whatever we can do, that if we can do, response कहते हैं इसको, then the rest is taken care by the divine. In this way, keep always that hopes alive, keep always that desire alive, keep always that inspiration alive, then in that dynamic mood, keep doing. And whenever we lose inspiration, remember the great characters. The Vivekanandas, these Gurudevs, and these Adi Shankaras. They also are like us, human, but they evolved. So evolution is possible. And never ever it was without efforts, without sacrifices. So we also are experienced in our sacrifices and efforts. So we know we can sacrifice, we know we can put efforts. So let us do that. Again, come back to that inspirational mood and do it. देखो ना ये इंस्पिरेशन को ये इच्छा को मेंटेन करके रखना फॉर लॉन्ग टाइम which is so essential is so difficult. That is a big challenge. That is true in every field also, but in other fields, there are some substantial objects in front tempting us, some substantial results seen tempting us. Therefore, there we'll be able to maintain. Like the month long working in an office is done because the temptation of the salary, the money comes. Is it not like that everywhere? Business, you go on doing because in your mind always that is there. मैं करूँगा तो ये profit आएगा वगैरह. In spirituality, these substantial things are not there. They only say that when you gain the Brahma Prapti, you get all Anandam. But तब तक तो कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. तब तक you have to go on giving and struggling only. Then what is the way to keep up that maintaining that inspiration and desire? That is our effort. looking up to the great masters, feeling that the Shruti Mata and Gurus are blessing us. That is how we are getting this chance to listen. Out of millions and millions, how many are attending these classes? How many are getting the chance to attend? How many are feeling the desire inside to attend? It is you only. That means the grace is there. ये चीज़ों को याद रखते हुए, like for me, among so many people are there, how many are getting chance to study Upanishad, talk on it? That should be inspiration to me. And one very crucial thing in spirituality, that much we say and go ahead, is you can get inspiration from others. Those are doing better sadhana than us. But then you should never compare with others. Get inspiration. That's different. That's healthy. That's positive. That's required. That helps. But competing with others, comparing with others can never be correct. स्पिरिचुअल साधना में हर एक बंदे का अपना ही रास्ता होता है, अपना ही रफ्तार होता है. Is it not? It's on my speed, it's on my path. Like I know some 20 Swamis. No, each is a different in their own temperaments, their abilities, their sadhanas. If they are doing well, better than me, I get inspiration to do well, but I cannot compare. Because with what background they are born, what inputs they are getting from the gross, subtler sources continuously, what I am getting are absolutely different. So, how can I compare? You understand? Each one is coming from the earlier lives with those trainings. If somebody is a better speaker than me, I can get inspired to be a good speaker, but I can't compare with him. I have to improve on myself. In spirituality or even in the world also, the competition is with one's own self and the comparison is with his own yesterday's performance, not with any. It's a danger. But inspiration ke liye you have to look up to. Otherwise, we think what we are doing is ultimate and we get stuck up there, stagnant there again. They get inspiration, but then you can't compare it all. Never ever compare, even your family, your wife or husband, compare mat karna. Both ways. She is doing nothing, so I am coming to the class. Therefore, I am great. Compare mat karna. She is more happier than you. Therefore, she is already advanced. With all our Vedanta, where Jagat Mithya, still we are attached and we are frustrated. Means what? We are at the lower level. जो हम ऑलरेडी अब पढ़ रहे हैं वो लोग ऑलरेडी पढ़कर कर रहे हैं. That is the point. Their study earlier life is over, theory. They are practicing now. Don't underestimate people, those who don't come to class. Therefore, you don't stop coming from tomorrow. Is it not? Sometimes that feeling hota hai कि we are attending study, nothing doing. And other person studying more shastra or doing more hours of meditation, get inspiration. Why? His makeup is different. His upasana is different. He is holding on to maybe so many guru they are blessing. ऐसा है, जो भी है. Don't compare with others, especially at home. I know spirituality should not be an added issue of fighting at home. Anyway, we have so many. I know. No jealousy. No any of those feelings. In some houses, we can see that. All types of the people are there. If a wife starts coming to the class, she attends understanding. And husband also joins. She's happy in some cases. In other cases, she will jealous. स्वामी जी मेरे से आगे बढ़ेंगे क्या? ऑलरेडी आगे बढ़ चुके हैं. It's all, it's like in ट्रैफिक में. सडनली ब्रेक हो गया तो रुक जाते हैं आप और दूसरे लोग ओवरटेक करके जाते हैं. उसका ब्रेक हो गया तो हम जाते हैं. Does it have any meaning in comparing? It is my journey with my own equipments. I am traveling. Whenever it gets broken, I stop and repair and go. Never ever compare at all with others. Inspiration le lo sabse. So today we just thought that when we are just going through this deep Vedantic Adhyanam, it's not just mantrocharanam. No, with the Bhashya, we are trying to go deep into the understandings, which is a very crucial junction, came in our life after our 3 years of struggle to study. And these are the crucial topics also, especially of Taittiriya, where The Praptavya Vastu, the Brahma, in all its details, exhaustively explained both by Shrutimata and the Bhashyakara. Then the Upalabdhi Sthanam we are told. Then the Prapti Marga will be told. Now, this is what we are here for. This is the main thing. Like when you go to a temple, the main thing is darshanam. All are secondary. When we are studying Vedanta, the main thing is Brahma Avagahana, Brahma Dhyana, Brahma Anubhuti. That's the most crucial topic we are discussing. So, therefore, we have to be so much alert. We have to have so much of the abilities. For that, we are saying maintain that inner tempo, inner desire, inner zeal, etc. Having just gave this idea for myself and to you all, those who receive. Now the topic under discussion in Taittiriya Upanishad is Brahmananda Valli or Brahma Valli. In that Prathama Anuvaka, the third three lines itself we are studying from almost 2 weeks. That's the value of that sentence, that's the worthiness of it. ना कोई घर बनाने में एक एक काम फटाफट बनता है, बट कुछ काम काम थोड़ा होता है लेकिन बहुत ज्यादा देर लगता है. So that's all like that ever. We need not even feel like that also. Now the mantra is what? Chant the whole thing. Brahma vidapnoti param. Very careful about this sentence and its meaning. Whatever is understood. The Brahma Veta obtains the ultimate. If this much is caught from this line, and if it gives us inspiration, therefore I must achieve param, and that is achieved only through Brahma Vidya. Therefore, let me have the Brahma Vedanam. Vedanam is knowing. This much, if it is caught from that first line, we have done justice. Then the others are details. Brahma is all pervading, it is how can be obtained. So then this jnana, that's what darsana, darsana, bhyam, all that are details, which are very essential. So Brahma Vidapnoti Param. And it is addressed to human beings, and we are human beings. Therefore, we can achieve Param. Therefore, we should achieve Param. That is through Brahma Vidya. Then that Brahma, which is to be obtained or realized or experienced as ourselves, after which it is the ultimate supreme Parama achievement beyond which there is not there. Nothing is there. Of that Brahman, what are the Lakshanas? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. And with all the study done for last 2 weeks, what is to be understood is this Brahma, which has got these words for its explanation, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, is a state of experience. It's a state of pure subjective experience beyond all the upadhis. State of subjective being, it is beyond all the upadhis. It is not an upadhi, it is not a object that is perceived through any upadhi. The Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma is not the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha to be perceived by the Indriyas. Is not an emotion to be felt by the Mana. Is it not a concept to be made by the intellect? But intellectual concept or understanding pushes us to that level. Is it not? Up to that only the intellect will help us. But it's not a concept of the intellect. Even it is beyond. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma is my own essential Sarupa. Not what I am seeing now myself as. In fact, now who am I? A question is asked. It's all vague only. Every second I change myself. When I look through eyes, I became the seer with the ears, hearer, smeller, taster, walker, sleeper. अरे मैं मेरा कोई ठिकाना ही नहीं, मैं इतना बदल रहा हूँ हर क्षण. And all put together is Jagrat Purusha. Again, Jagrata Purusha is not permanent. He enters or he goes away, Swapna Purusha comes, then he also goes the Nidra. हमारे बारे में हमको अभी तक कोई पता ही नहीं, लेकिन काम कर ही रहे. विचित्र, no? Even that I am a Chidabhasa, identify the Aham Vritti, later on identify with the or owning the Manabuddhi Chitta, later on owning the Prana, Indriya and Deha. Thus I have become a set of jivas with all these things. Even this clarity is not there with us. Then these all are imaginary, illusory, pseudo. They are also the one, though everything is happening because of it, but all that is bondage only. These things are not yet clear to us. Then Am Brahma Asmi. Thereafter, that Brahma is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. So this much is understood. Now the Upalabdhi Sthana discussion we started yesterday. As many times you can study this, so many times you study it is helpful. The mantra should be literally understood. Then that mantra's exhaustive explanation given by Bhagavan Shankara in Bhashya, that also we have to clearly understand. Because this is a punji, this is a thinga, which alone helps us in the actual meditation. Otherwise, on the name of meditation, any dramas can be done. And you can call anything and everything as meditation, like yoga, meditation. Very fanciful words they are all. Everybody uses them and everybody does whatever they think are defined as. But only in that Upanishads, pakka we are taught. ध्यान में ध्येय वस्तु क्या है, ध्याता कौन है, ध्यान क्या होता है. All that is this knowledge which is given here. And please remember, those two things, सोई जानत जेव दे जनाई, तुरंत जानत तुम्हारी तुम्हें हो जाई. There is no meditation in Vedanta. You are just trying to understand the Brahman. In trying to understand the Brahman, you near the Brahman. The moment you clearly understand him, you become him. You become him means you know that it is me only. हो जाता है बस. But doing it with meditative poise. There is no meditation required in Vedanta. Through vicharana, you just remove the avidya and you are ever Brahman. That's why meditation is not a kriya or the verb. If it is a kriya, any kriya or karma, not kriya karma together, will have only limited results. Therefore, a person who is meditating will have Atmanubhava only when he is meditating. When the meditating is over, he is no more Brahma because he is not meditating. When I am walking, then I am reaching. When I don't walk, I don't reach. So when I am meditating, I reach. When I don't meditate, I don't reach. ऐसा होता है क्या Brahma? It is not a state of being, reached through contemplation. When you are deeply contemplating, that effort which is defined as a meditative poise. In that poise, the layers of ignorance go away, the self is realized. It is me. ठीक है ना? So विचारणा अभ्यास को हम ध्यान अभ्यास कहते हैं. Clear? The deep contemplation about the nature of the self. In that only the not self goes away. So the nature of the self is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is told. That Brahma is Atma only. So Satyam Jnanantam is Atma Swarupa only, Brahma Swarupa. Uske upar vichar. Which we have done to a great extent. And it will continue. Because again and again the upadhis will overpower. उनको भी समझकर साइड लाइन करते रहना पड़ता है. Then only we reach near to the actual Brahma Tattva. So now this sentence is one. Yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman soshnute sarvan kaman saha brahmana vipaschiteti. This literal meaning we understand, then see the bhasha. Yaha, whoever he may be, Veda knows. Nihitam, hidden, Guhaya. See, he is covered in that Guha, by that Guha. Yo Veda, who knows? Who knows is not intellectually. Like intellectually it is told now, यार ये अंतःकरण के पीछे आत्मा छुपा है. वो कहने से आत्मा नहीं मिला and revelation नहीं हुआ. Therefore, here Veda means Vijanati. That's why Bhashyakara's Bhasha is required. Here the Veda is discovering it as our own self. Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Each of the word we will see that. गुहा के पीछे उस परम आकाश में जो है उनको जो जानता है सहा that person ashnute enjoys sarvan kaman saha. He enjoys the fulfillment of all all desires, saha, simultaneously. नो, एक रसगुल्ला खाने से इतनी खुशी है। अब 100 रसगुल्ला खाने का जितना खुशी है, उतना एक ही बार होना। एग्ज़ाम्पल के लिए बता रहा हूँ। विथआउट ईटिंग 100 रसगुल्ला, नहीं तो मर जाएँगे वो। सी द ब्यूटी ऑफ वेदांत। वेदांत अनुभूति में क्या है ना, यू डोंट एन्जॉय एनीथिंग ऑब्जेक्टिवली, बट द जॉय ऑफ ऑल ऑब्जेक्टिव एन्जॉयमेंट्स आर फाउंड इन ब्रह्म आनंद। दैट्स व्हाई सः अश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् सः। And how he enjoys it? Brahmana vipaschita. By being one with Brahman, who is vipaschit, the pure conscious self. All these doubts, whatever are there, they get solved when we become deep in our contemplation. मजा आता है वो. Whatever the doubts come when we listen to these type of sentences, that when one discovers himself to the Brahman within, he will enjoy the joy of all the desires fulfillment at one go. Whatever doubts come. How can Swamiji, without the objects, the happiness comes? See, that is a secret. Happiness is not objective, it is subjective. The subjective pure bliss is being objectified. And to get that objectified ananda, we are struggling. It is like you give your own money on loan to some stupid fellow, and he is not giving, and you are running behind that fellow. Yaar, mere paise de. He says, kal aao, parso aao. Your own money. Can there be any more fun than this? Everywhere so. Your own children, they are born to you, but that stupid nalayak fellows trouble you so much. Your own. When you understand it, other than laughter, you can't get anything. My own Atma Ananda, I am throwing on the objects and people, and I am trying to lick them or seek them from people. People like they have taken my loan, money, my money as loan, never returning. They don't give me. Therefore, an intelligent person never gives money on loan. He gives once for all. देखो तू 1 लाख मांग रहा है लोन, मैं नहीं दे सकता, बट 10,000 दे देता हूँ, बाकी तू मैनेज कर. This is healthier than giving him loan and tension about getting money from him. That is 10 लाख worth peace of mind चला जाएगा उससे. लोन नहीं दूंगा बाबा, मैं थोड़ा हेल्प कर देता, खत्म. माइंड इज क्लियर. इफ यू गिव लोन, you can never be happy. Why? Not that you don't have. 1 लाख दिया मतलब you must be having 50 lakhs with you. That 50 lakhs will not give you happiness. This 1 lakh you gave on loan gives you misery. See the small little things, but how it's just like all body's parts are healthy, but one part is painful. There only we suffer. We don't say, बाकी body parts ठीक है ना, but I'll be happy. It doesn't matter. वो होता नहीं, वो सब healthy होना ही चाहिए. Interesting. Like सारे मसाले डाले सब्जी में, नमक नहीं डाला तो क्या फर्क पड़ता? You don't say. It is essential. In the same way, all these things will reveal when we contemplate on these things. Otherwise, how much courage the Upanishad Mata should have to tell that when you discover Brahman, you are having happiness of all the objects of the past and present and future, enjoyable through all the sense organs at one go by all the beings. That is the meaning of Sarvan Kaman. Saha Brahmana means that much Ananda is there. So that the subjective Ananda is so great, that means. And it is not like the Ananda of licking the objects or eating the things. ऐसा वाला नहीं है. वो तो sense pleasure है वो. Don't label it as Anandam and insult the word as Anand. Like in Nidra. Do you lick anything? Do you eat anything? No. No. That is called pure Ananda. Where the objects are not there, contact of senses of the object not there. But that Ananda is more greater than this. In the same way, the Atmananda, Brahmananda is so great without any requirement of this. Just like when I eat the food for myself, I'm happy. But when I'm sharing it with others, do you understand that Sukshmata of the Ananda? For an example's sake, in the same way it is. Like mother is giving food and she is happy. The other child is eating and happy. Both are happy, but one is eating, another is giving food. That means by giving food also one can be happy without eating food. That shows the meaning of subtle happiness. Is it not? In all the loving affairs, the beloved goes on giving only to the beloved. For the sake of that stupid girl, he goes on spending money. Ask a beggar, ask 2 रुपए दे दो, उसको नहीं देगा वो. He will not give, but for her he'll spend lakhs. Vichitram. Sukshma Ananda in giving I'm talking. And the moment when they get married, the giving starts reduced, taking what starts happening, then the other is not able to give, then the misery starts. सूक्ष्म आनंद की बात के लिए हमने कह रहे हैं देने से आनंद सो टू त्यागेन एकेन अमृतत्वमानस that should indicate to us that when all gross subtle causal are given up, what remains is me, what remains is ananda, that ananda is me. सब कुछ छोड़ दिया जागृत स्वप्न का तो कितना आनंद है निद्रा में. Consciously, even if you transcend the nidra, we are in a bliss ecstasy. It is not like any sense pleasure. Sense pleasures are only fools go through for that 1 second pleasure, 1 minute pleasure. They are sir lost. Their दिमाग काम नहीं कर रहा उनका. दिमाग है ही नहीं. At the very grossest, lowest level, people talk the language of sense pleasures and involve in that. They are really पशु तुल्य. मनुष्य रूप में पशु है वो. When you give a milk to the cat or anything, how चाव से खाता है वो. So to a good food is given, चाव से खाता है. Equal है. He's Ullu is like Billy only. This Ananda is Swarupa Ananda, Atma Ananda, Brahma Ananda. Clear? Now let us see one by one. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parme Vyoman Sostude Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipashita. So discovering himself as Brahman, consciously he will enjoy the bliss of all the enjoyments at one go. If one discovers that Brahma of Satyam Jnanavantam Brahma Guhayam Nihitam, seated behind the curtain of the Guha. Now, very careful analysis Bhagavan is giving us in this sloka about what we have to understand, and that understanding deeper itself is meditation. Always maintaining that understanding. Meditation is maintaining the understanding. That's it, all the time. So, yo Veda Vijanati. Vijanati means Vispashtena Janati. There the Vispashtena Janati means Atma Swarupena Janati. पहले ही वेदांत में knowledge means being, knowing means being. Once it is said it once for all. So, yo Veda Vijanati explained. We are explaining the sentence. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. What exercise we did yesterday. Today also we are trying to do it second time for little more deeper or spashta understanding, clear understanding. So, yo Veda, yo Vijanati, the one who discovers that as his own self. This much understood, yo Veda Vijanati. Now, what is the meaning of word the Nihitam Sthitam? Means always I as a Brahman is there behind the curtain of my own guha. Therefore, Sthitam. See, unless you pause it and contemplate, even that word meaning is not entering into us. That is the need of patiently studying Vedanta. Nihitam means Sthitam. So, the one who discovers that eternally present thing there, where it is hidden, that will be told now. Yo Veda Nihitam Sthitam. What is it? Brahman. Which Brahman? Satyam Jnanavanantam. वो हो चुका है. Again, Satyam Jnanavanantam Brahma understood, and he is now found as our own self. Where to find that exercise started now. सो ये ब्रह्म का सब्जेक्ट हो गया, नया सब्जेक्ट स्टार्ट हो रहा है, नहीं, वही ब्रह्म, which is that is why in the introduction what did he say? Tad yatha vyakyatam brahma. See the power of that sentence. That brahma which was so exhaustively explained, that brahman, yo, whoever may be, Veda discovers as himself. Now where it is, we have to do. Nihitam means sthitam. Nihit means there have. It has not gone away just because you have not recognized it. It is eternally there, sthitam. So, yo veda nihitam. Sthitam, who discovers it, which is always there waiting for us to recognize us to recognize as ourselves. Now the next word starts important, guhayam. So, whoever knows that Brahman who is stationed in the guha as his own self. It's not again Brahman, an object known by me. I, the Brahman, is there here. So that means my essential Sarupa called as Brahman is caught when my attention is there. He is very much there. I am there. I am starting from there only. That me which is there is there everywhere. And that me only, the moment the conditions came, through the conditions, immediately that sarupyata is happening, then I am becoming Deha, Jiva, Jagrat, Swapna, Purusha, Ityadi. So the real me is found there. Where? Guhayam. And what is Guha? Is the exhaustive explanation. Guhayam. Guhatehe. Samvaranarthasya. Samvaranarthasya. Guha is a shabda for which the grammatical meaning is kavaru. So Guha mein hai matlab kya hua abhi? Don't imagine a cave. Inside that cave it is there. Generally, whenever this word is used, Guha, हमको ऐसा ही इमेजिनेशन होता है. एक घर है मतलब घर का एक एंट्रेंस है, एंट्रेंस से आप आगे जाओ तो अंदर बेड में है, हमेशा की तरह सो रहा है. सो दिस इज हाउ ए गुहा, ए हाउस इज इमेजिन्ड, वी एंटर इट. To remove that wrong notion, the literal meaning of the guha from the grammar or vyakarana or vocabulary or dictionary, Bhagwan Shankara using and telling. Guha means some word, covering. See the difference in गुहा imagination of एक गुहा के अंदर. एंड बात तो वही होती है, गुहा क्या होता है, गुहा के अंदर छुप जाता है. नाउ लिसन, गुहा के अंदर नहीं छुपते हैं, फिर जहां छुपते हैं उसको गुहा कहते हैं. क्योंकि छुपने के लिए गुहा में गया ना, छुपने का नहीं होता. व्हाई विल यू गो इनटू गुहा? ही विल बी ओपन इन द प्लेस ओनली. So what the guha is doing, it is covering. Therefore, what is the meaning of guha? Cover. Covered. Feeling of meaning of the word guha as covering should come to us. Covering is more important than hidden, hiding. Okay, nahi? Guha means it's a covering, not hiding. Hidden it is used, but hidden is covered only. Their words changeable, but you have to be careful. When you come to Vedanta, it is hidden means it is covered. नॉट हिडन की नहीं मिलेंगे आपको, हम इस तरह छुप नहीं रहा है, वो कवर हुआ, बट डिस्कवर कर सकते हैं. ये कोई बंदा हिडन है तो वी कैन नॉट ट्रेस हिम बिकॉज इज डेलिबरेटली हाइडिंग, बट इट इज कवर्ड, यू कैन इजिली डिस्कवर इट. So hidden or covered, just be careful in the difference of the meaning of the words. So he is samvaranarthasya, it is covered. Okay, now again what is the sentence? Nihitam is sthitam guhaya, means he is stationed behind the cover. Now which is the cover? Beautiful explanation we'll say, then we read the Bhashyam. The cover is buddhi. What is buddhi? It is explained to us in the two forms. Okay, so it is covered is the meaning of guhayam. Nihitam means stationed, guhayam in the behind the curtain or the cover. Samvaranartha se guhasya. So what is that which is covering the atmanubhuti? Brahmanubhuti. That cover we have to remove. Buddhi only. Therefore, Buddhi is called as Guha everywhere. But which means, what is the meaning of Buddhi covering Paramatma? Means Buddhi with its own Swarupa or Lakshanas, it is covering. What are the Lakshanas of the Buddhi? That is said here. The two ways it is said. So beautiful. What is that? Nigudhaha Asyam. Buddhi is called as that one in which these three things happen. Asyam Jnana Jnaya Jnatru Padarthaha iti Guha Buddhihi. So, Nigudaha Asyam Jnana Jnaya Jnatru Padarthaha. 1 minute. So, what is Guha? It is Buddhi. What is the Buddhi? In which this Triputi is always existing of Jnatru Jnana Jnaya. Now, see the beauty of it. How will you, when will you discover that object? Only when the cover is removed. How long you will not discover the object? As long as you don't remove the cover. है कि नहीं? कोरियर आया आपको, तुरंत काट दिया, अंदर क्या है निकाल लिया, पता चल गया। और निकाला नहीं, उसको ऐसे ही रखा 10 साल, ऐसे ही रहता है। कुछ पीपलों को भगवत गीता गिफ्ट देते हैं ना, 20 साल के बाद ऐसे ही होता है, वो खोलते भी नहीं। इन द सेम वे eternally, as long as we are keeping the cover ready, intact, and it's not removed, inner thing is not known. So Buddhi is the Kahavar, Buddhi is the Guha, Buddhi's Lakshana is Jnana Jnatrugnaya Triputi. Therefore means what? As long as we are having this Buddhi Guha cover called as Jnatru Jnana Gnaya Vyavahara, so long the Brahman who is behind, who is stationed, Stitam, behind this curtain of Buddhi or this Triputi is never realized. लेकिन बंदा अंदर है, जब तक दरवाजा नहीं खोलेगा तो बाहर आएगा नहीं वो. Now you understand here? All of us are every moment living the life of Triputi. This Triputi in Yoga Bhasha is called as Vrittis. With the Nirodh karo Vrittiyon ka तभी स्वरूप अवस्थान हो जाएगा. Here also, when we transcend the trio of Jnatru Jnanam Gneyam is called as meditation, then we recognize the self there, the real self there. So that state of meditation where the Gneya Vastu Parityaga is done, knowledge of object of knowledge, the Jnanam is rejected, the knowledge of the object, the Jnata is also transcended, the respective corresponding Jnata, the knower of the knowledge of the object. When these three are transcended, what remains is the Parabrahma Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Now, इसको लेकर हमें 1 हफ्ता मेडिटेशन करना है, तब जाकर इसकी पकड़ आ जाती है हमारे हाथ में. So buddhi is that in which this triputi always is there. Buddhi with these three triputi is acting as a cover for Brahman. So as long as we are living at this level, we are not recognizing Brahman. So all the vyavahara we gave up, we closed eyes. Now inside our own heart we are contemplating. In that contemplation, this is the explanation that wherever the triputi is there, that is called as buddhi. Wherever the buddhi is there, that's called as triputi. When this buddhi triputi is transcended, then that Brahman, which is there behind or beyond, is experienced. Means what? Our value given to the Triputi is making us experience Brahman only as Triputi. Finally, though, everything is Brahman only. Like your attention on the ornament is making you see the gold as ornament. But finally, every nook and corner of the ornament is gold only. But you are not allowed to see the pure gold because the name and form. In the pure gold, there cannot be likes or dislikes. In the ornament, there are always likes and dislikes. Samsara, for instance, example. In the same way, Paramatma alone has to express as Buddhi, no doubt. But Paramatma, when he expresses as Buddhi, in which Triputi is there, samsara begins. When this samsara karana Triputi is transcended and the Paramatma is known as he is, there is no samsara. It is only moksha. So our effort is to discover that self first, identify with that, thereafter with the Upadi. If you want to play, play. Like once you know it is a gold, then you play making it into any of the ornaments. So, Buddhau, Guhayam. Why Buddhi is called as Guha? Because in that Buddhi are these three, Jnana, Gnaya, Gnatru Padarthaha, Asyam, Nihitaha, Nigudaha. Nigudaha means what? They are very strongly embedded in the Buddhi, the Triputi, because of millions of lives of habits. So asyam nigudaha, asyam buddhyam, what is that nigudaha? Asyam buddha jnana gnaya gnatu padartha iti guha buddhi. Asyam guhayam jnana gnatru gnaya padartha gudaha iti buddhi eva guha. So for us today's knowledge is what, very pakka? The Triputi, when we transcend, then we are one with Brahman. I myself am becoming Jnata because of the Gneya Vastu and by having the Jnanam of it. When Sarva Gneya Vastu Parityaga is done, things to be known are dropped, there is no Jnanam. Then I am no more a Jnata particular. Then who am I? Jnana Gnatru Gneya Veda Rahita. Shuddha Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma. Hold on to this point. Now contemplate on it till it becomes our own essential knowledge, our own pakka doubtless knowledge. Then on the Siddha meditation, we really try to reach to it. Therefore, where is Paramatma? Is in the Buddhi Guha. Where is Buddhi Guha? There where Triputi is happening. So when the Triputi is transcended, Buddhi is transcended, Atma and Buddhi comes. Now, interesting thing is what? When this concept is understood for sadhana, the meditation is both closed eyes or opened eyes. Like my eye is opened, I am seeing the world. Yet, I am just focusing my attention only on the Triputi, where the Gnatru Gnana Gnaya Veda happening, and I am just dropping each one of them, and I am recognizing the self. This is actual meditation. Meditation and realization is only if this closed eyes is there. Then if the eye is open, the self is gone. इतना टेम्पररी है कि आत्मा की आंख बंद करो तो दिखता है, खोले तो गया. That's a Vedanta. Anywhere is in meditation. Yatra yatra manoyati tatra samadaya. In yoga, they have to transcend mind. Vedanta कहते हैं काय को जाने का, जहाँ मन है वही आत्मा है. You understood, no? See the beauty of that. Open eye meditation. My focus is on, not on Triputi. That substratum which is supporting this Triputi. When the focus is on the Triputi, that substratum is not known. When the Triputi's focus is withdrawn, that substratum is experienced. That is Brahman and that is I am. I am that Atma which is Brahman, which is substratum for every Triputi. That's why, when one Triputi experience comes and goes, I am there. Another Triputi coming and going, I am there. All the Triputis are waking, gone, still I am there. They are again the Triputi. Swapna avastha mein Triputi aa gaye. I am there also, that goes away. Even the Nidra also is there, that comes and goes, I am there. That is I am, who is behind every Buddhi Vritti which is operational in the form of Triputi. This intellectually. Catch it and reach it on the seat of contemplation. When you start doing, it happens. And it happens, the moment we start becoming pure in life, as the joy comes, the moment we start becoming subtler on the seat of contemplation, that joy comes. In that journey, the subtlemost beyond Manabuddhi, beyond the Buddhist Triputi we reach, how blissful it is. I am this. Instead of remaining at the Atmananda, I like, instead of remaining as water, the water appearing as wave and struggling to eat other waves, fight with other waves, and finally ending only hitting at the shores. Same way as a jiva with the dehadi tadatmya, I am struggling continuously only to end in death and misery. But the water never is born when the waves are born, though water is substratum of all the waves. So too, I am never born as Jnata and Jnana Gneya when they are appearing. I am always a pure conscious Satyam Ajnanam Anantam Brahma. This is what is the meaning of Yoveda. Guhayam. So one explanation is given. Parame Vyoman we have not done now. We'll go to that little later. Second one is what? Buddhau means what? Gudhau Asyam. Why the Buddhi is called again Guha? So remember, first is Guhayam. Guha means Samvarnartha. So Brahman is stationed, covered behind. This is the main meaning. Nihitam Guhaya. Now, when it is said it is stationed, it is easily understandable. When it is covered, that is understood, but what is the cover? We have to know. That cover is called as Buddhi. Then what is the Buddhi? Where the Triputi is there. Jnatru, Jnana, Gneya, Triputi, Trayo, wherever it is there, that state of being is called as Buddhi. Behind that Brahma is there means what? Behind means what? In the absence of this Triputi, in the transcendence of this Triputi, the Brahman is, which is Sthitam, is experienced. That is the importance of the word Sthitam. It's not that the three removed, then from somewhere the Atma comes. Oh, Hamesha hai. But hidden in the curtain of these three Triputi of Jnatru, Jnana, Gneya. So therefore, Buddhi functioning as Jnatru, Jnana, Gneya is becoming the covering to the Brahman. Then when these three are removed, that itself is Brahma Anubhuti. Brahman is not brought. Satyam Jnanavanantam is ever there. But it is not seen as it is. Why? Because we are occupied by the Buddhi with its Triputi. You have to understand that this particular explanation, if it is caught, you understood Vedanta. Like the gold is covered by ornaments. You understand? The thread is covered by the cloth. Guhayam. So what is happening there? Gold is covered by ornaments means what? When your attention is on the ornaments, it is not on the gold. For you to have the attention on the gold, you have to detach your attention from the ornaments. Otherwise, wherever the ornaments are there what is there is gold alone. But our attention is so much pulled when you look at the ornament that we tend to lose the sight of the gold. In the same way, ultimately, yatra yatra manoyati tatra tatra samadaya. Wherever the mana with its triputi plays the play, everywhere the Brahman alone is recognized. When after recognizing Brahma, when on the seat of meditation, we first time transcend the triputi. Again and again transcend the triputi. Then the establishing that Brahma as I am. Then you play the triputi play everywhere I am. From that standpoint, it is said that in and through every name and form, Parabrahman alone is there because he alone has to be there. There is nothing other than him. So, what we are struggling last 7-8 minutes is the meaning of covering, meaning of being a guha. It's only our value, attention, importance given to the buddhi which is continuously functioning as Triputi, that we ourselves are hiding our own self from our being as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Therefore, यह क्या करना है उसको डिस्कवर करना. What is discovering? Transcending this vyavahara of Jnatru Jnana Gneya. So, on Parabrahma Paramatma, superimposing the Triputi is called samsara. In the samsara, when the Triputi is transcended, you are one with Brahman. This is what to be clearly caught. Now, the second explanation is given for the Buddhi, why it is called as Guha. Buddhau, Guhayam, Gudau Asyam. Because In this only are these two. That is why this buddhi is called guha. बुद्धि में ये दोनों चीजें हैं, इसलिए बुद्धि को गुहा कहते हैं. तीनों चीजों का बात हो गया, ज्ञातृ ज्ञान ज्ञेय. Through that Jnatru Jnana Jnaya only, which is a nature or expression of Buddhi, the other two things happen also in the Buddhi only. What are the two things? Bhoga apavargau. Bhoga is samsara. Of sukha dukkha through punya papa. Apavarga is moksha. Now be attentive. One thought we'll share and conclude today. Is the self ever anytime bound? It is never bound. Because it cannot be bound. Therefore, can the self be liberated? अरे when it is not bound, how can it be liberated? Other than the self, और कुछ है क्या उसको बांधने को? And the self, will it be binding itself? No, see this very subtle thought. Try to catch it. Therefore, who will try for liberation? The one who thinks that he is bound. Is it not? Therefore, bondage is only a concept. That is why it is a buddhi. And the one who has a concept of bondage alone is trying for the opposite concept of liberation. Both are happening in the buddhi. When these two are happening, to the self which is beyond that buddhi, na bandhan hai na mukti. Isliye na nirodho na chotpatti. Na baddho na cha sadhakaha, na mukshur na vai muktaha. Why that Gaudapadji said that famous sentence? This reason. So bhoga apavarga, bandhana and moksha, both are concepts of the buddhi. And definitely because we are understanding or experiencing bandhanam, definitely we have to understand and experience moksham. Therefore, the sadhana for the moksha is 10. What is the moksha sadhana doing? It is removing only the bandhanam. Like what Vidya does, it removes avidya. It doesn't create the self. Self is always there. So, by this, a beautiful thought for all the time to come has been given to us. Ki both the bondage and liberation are concepts. Because of the concept I am bound is there, inevitably we have to use the concept of liberation as said in Shastras, and we have to kick the bondage with the concept of liberation. Then that self which is neither bound nor liberated is experienced. I am eternal. I am not bound anytime. What is there for me to bind other than me? Interesting point. Self is ever bound, it is. उस स्टैंड पॉइंट से भगवान जब कहते हैं गौड़पाल जी देयर नो बंधन मोक्ष, हमको कंफ्यूजन होता है. हम तो इतने फंसे हुए, आप कहे तो कोई बंधन ही नहीं. So that's a concept. What is the bondage then? The triputi only, or the bhoga. Through the triputi we do the bhoga. That is bandhanam. So when the bhoga का अपवर्ग होता है, means त्रिपुटी निकल जाता है, then the moksha. Moksha is from the bandhanam. But when that bandhan ka moksha ho jata hai, I remain, I discover myself as Paramatma. That is the beauty here. So buddhau guhayam, buddhau gudau asyam bhoga apavarga purushartho itiva tasyam. So not very difficult, at least to grasp intellectually. When we close eyes, in our own cave of heart, all the time the triputi is happening. Beyond the curtain of the triputi is Paramatma. So transcend the triputi, be one with the Paramatma. That is what, if we can understand for the day, that at this level of our study, good. With lot of upasana, yoga done for next 10 years. After that, when you study this Upanishad, that time, not only the struggle, there will not only be the struggle to understand, but we will be reaching to it also deeply, because 10 साल का साधना लगाया. नहीं है तो थोड़ा हम अटक जाते हैं. वेदांत में अटकना हो जाता है, और वो अटक है ना, लाइक इन हाईवे, मैंने और घाट रोड में लैंडस्लाइड हुआ तो अटक ही जाते हैं आप, फिर 1 घंटा लगता है निकालने में. They keep those bulldozers at every 3 kilometers. So too we get कहीं अटकना, doesn't matter, that will be removed. when you are consistent. So, yo veda nihitam guhayam. So, nihitam sthitam guhayam buddha. Buddhi is guha. What is the guhatva of the buddhi? How it is hiding the Paramatma? By getting us lost in the trio of Jnatru Jnana Jnaya. In Brahma, there is nothing other than it as Jnaya Vastu. Therefore, doesn't have to know as Jnanam, and there is no Jnata required. ज्ञेय वस्तु है तो ही ज्ञाता की जरूरत होती है ना, उस ज्ञेय वस्तु का ज्ञान पाने के लिए. अब ज्ञेय ही नहीं है, वेयर इज द नीड ऑफ ज्ञाता एंड ज्ञानम? दैट इज परमात्मा, दैट इज परब्रह्म, दैट इज प्योर ज्ञप्ति, दैट इज मी, दैट इज डिस्कवर्ड इन दिस वे बुद्धौ निहितम गुहायाम. अपने कॉन्टेम्पलेशन में, बुद्धि में. Now the parame vyoman word comes now. That also is the next level of contemplation. We study it little patiently tomorrow. So to me also to study and tell you, for you also to listen, that little poise through Veda chanting is required, little tuning, then little notch. As I told you, in Kedarnath, Yamunotri Yatra, कुछ रोड इतना साफ होता है वैष्णो देवी, धन 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 चले आएंगे. कोई जगह इतने खतरनाक होते हैं ना, to so slowly go. So too in studying Vedanta, कुछ चीजें ऐसे आराम से समझ में आ जाता है. कुछ चीजें like this one, you have to go slowly. But this is the most crucial thing. Most crucial one. So wherever the Triputi is there, that is called as Buddhi. Clear? And wherever the Triputi is dissolved consciously, that is called Brahmanubhuti. So, Nihitam Guhayam. So therefore, what is meditation for a Vedanta? He just parityaga of the Gneya Vastu is doing. Accordingly, the Jnanam also dissolved. When the Gneya Jnana are not there, where is Jnata then? No. Then what happens? That Parabrahma, who was appearing as Jnana Jnatra Gneya, is discovered as myself. So I now am a Jnata with respect to the Jnanam and Gneyam. When I the Jnata drop the Gneyam, Jnanam also gets dropped. Then what happens to me? When the Gneya and Jnana dropped by me, I am no more a Jnata. Then who am? It doesn't mean you don't exist. You are there. That too is called Jnapti. That's a Brahma. Like customers are there, so I am a salesperson on the counter. When all the customers are gone away, who am I? I am my own self. I am not no more any salesperson. So the Jnata is a Jnata as long as there is a Gneya and Jnana. When all the Gneya is dropped, the Jnata alone is Brahma. Like सारूप्य में जीव है, ऑल द वृत्ति निरोध हो गया, the जीव only स्वरूप प्रतिष्ठा, like in the yoga darshanam. Now परमे प्रकृष्टे व्योमन, व्योमनि आकाशे अव्याक्त आकाशे, तदि परमं व्योम एतस्मिन् खलु अक्षरे गार्गी आकाश इति अक्षर सन्निकर्षात्. गुहायां व्योमनीति वा समानादिकरण्यात् अव्याकृत आकाशम् एव गुहा. तत्रापि निगूढाः सर्वे पदार्थाः त्रिषु कालेषु कारणत्वात् सूक्ष्मतरत्वात् च तस्मिन् अन्तः निहितं ब्रह्म. नो, थोड़ा सा ये सूक्ष्म विषय है, कुछ कुछ बातें होते हैं ना, यू अंडरस्टैंड, बट व्हेन यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन, you have to search for such simple words and simple explanation to give. Now I'll just touch it today, tomorrow we'll take it up. Parame Vyoman means what? In that Avyakruta Akasha. Avyakruta Akasha means when the three gunas have come into the Samyavastha. Okay. तो गुहायाम परमे व्योमन मीन्स इसका दूसरा अर्थ क्या हो गया? पहला अर्थ गुहा इज बुद्धि. सेकंड अर्थ गुहायाम परमे व्योमन इज व्हाट? गुहायाम परमे व्योमन मीन्स द परम व्योम फर्स्ट यू हैव टू डिफाइन, दैट इज अव्याकृत आकाश. देखो दैट अव्याकृत आकाश इटसेल्फ इज गुहा. नाउ बुद्धि को साइड पे रख दिया, सेकंड वे ऑफ एक्सप्लेनेशन. देन दोनों में कौन सा करेक्ट होना चाहिए? In the present context, that Shankara Bhagavan will tell us. अगर ये है दोनों में करेक्ट आंसर, और दूसरा एक्सप्लेनेशन आप क्यों दे रहे हैं, कर कर छोड़ो ना, उसका दूसरा अर्थ का और कोई दूसरे उपनिषद में जरूरत है. दिस इज वेरी सटल थिंग इट इज. It is so clear to understand, equally difficult to explain. See that avyakruta maya or prakriti. Okay. Is it not because of this only Paramatma is not seen by us? Absolutely. But to see the Paramatma, be attentive. You cannot deal with avyakruta akasha, avyakruta prakriti, because it is avyakruta. Then the same prakriti expresses as buddhi, we attend to. With the help of the buddhi, we can see Paramatma. Having seen Paramatma, this avyakruta goes away. This is very subtle it is. See, Paramatma is there. Then we say avidya of Paramatma. Then the things that are so projected. So the rope, then the ignorance of rope, then the snake. Now, though for the appearance of snake, the cause is ignorance of rope, yet you cannot do anything with ignorance because it's not an object. Then what to do? That which you are seeing as a rope, snake, uska substratum ढूंढोगे आप with the right means. In that dunding of that substratum of the snake, you reach to the rope. The moment you reach the rope, that avyakrita, avidya goes away and snake also goes away. See, though the avidya is the cause of Paramatma, is not seen, cause of not seeing Paramatma, yet you cannot remove the avidya. Like a person has done a mistake because of ignorance. No, you cannot attack the ignorance because ignorance is not a substantial thing. What you do? Why did he do this mistake? Because he didn't know that. What is that? That knowledge. You give that knowledge, the ignorance goes away, the mistake goes away. You cannot attack anybody's ignorance. You can only give the knowledge. Ignorance automatically goes away. Like you can't attack the darkness and remove it. You bring the light, it goes away. And here, why Paramevyoman can be Avyakrita Akasha, explanation is given. Because at Brahman is not the direct cause of everything. Everything is caused by Avyakruta. In Brahma, there is nothing is there other than him. Therefore, सारा सृष्टि कहाँ है? अपने मूल कारण में अव्याकृत आकाश में ही है. Okay. Avyakritam is Prakriti, Maya, Avidya, you call it as. In the entire world is hidden in that only. Brahma में कुछ problem नहीं. Brahma is always pure Brahma. Therefore, Paramavyoma is to be taken as Avyakrita Akash in general. But in this particular case, sadhana has to be done. You cannot do sadhana with Avyakrita. Nidra में sadhana नहीं हो सकता. So therefore, you have to be, although Nidra is more closer to Atma, is it not? That's why there's so much of Ananda in Nidra. We have seen it in the Mandukya Upanishad. Although Nidra is so close to Atma, you cannot meditate in Nidra. Is it not? You can't meditate in Nidra. But in meditation, you may enter Nidra. That is different. So this very subtle, crucial thing, yeah, Bhagavan is touching. Tomorrow also, when I repeat now, और थोड़ा खुल जाए. कोई कोई चीज़ है ना, लैम्प समटाइम बहुत बुरा है, 3-3 बार उसको इमली लगाकर धोना पड़ता है, तब तक उसका चमक नहीं आता. कपड़ा भी वॉशिंग मशीन ने धोया लेकिन पूरा नहीं धोया. देन शी हस्बैंड को याद करते धोती है. अब देन इट बिकम्स क्लियर. You need to do it twice, thrice. Some places, white wash. एक बार कर ली व्हाइट वॉश, बट पूरा सीमेंट ने पूरा व्हाइट वॉश को खा लिया, पी लिया. देन सीमेंट ओनली सीन, नॉट सीन. देन सेकंड कोटिंग, थर्ड कोटिंग. होता है कि नहीं? इवन इन द पुलिस वालों में भी फर्स्ट कोटिंग पे नहीं सुनता हो, सेकंड ग्रेड, तभी थर्ड वाला लगा तब जाकर सत्य बोलता है वो. In the same way, 3, 4, 5, 6 times when we listen the words, see, we just now are listening it first time, itna subtle subject. सडनली समझ में याद आए, मतलब एक जरा सा ये जुल्म हो जाएगा अपने बुद्धि पे कि समझो करके। बुद्धि कह रही है तुम मेरे को हमेशा टीवी में घुमाते हो, बीवी में घुमाते हो, उसमें इधर घुमाते हो। सडनली अब यू टेल मी टू अंडरस्टैंड वेदांत, हाउ कैन, मेरे को संभलने दो। बुद्धि सेस, सो गिव दैट चांस टू द बुद्धि टू संभलने के लिए, देन इट विल अंडरस्टैंड इट। Once the understanding happens, thereafter meditation is a cakewalk. But understanding is a thorn walk. It's not a cake. Let us see that. Only few things they are there. परमे गुहायाम परमे व्योमन, इतना कल बताएंगे कि दिस गुहा इट सेल्फ इज आकाशा, द बुद्धि इट सेल्फ इज गुहा और आकाशा, नॉट द अव्याकृत, बिकॉज अव्याकृत दो इज द मीनिंग टेकन इन मेनी occasions, परम व्योम का अर्थ, बिकॉज ऑफ इट बीइंग सटलर, बिकॉज इट बीइंग कॉज ऑफ एवरीथिंग, बट उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है। यहाँ तो यो वेद कहा है, जानने को कहा है, जानना इज उपासना हियर, दैट यू डू समथिंग व्हेन यू नो समथिंग सब्सटेंशियल ना, तो यू नो सब्सटेंशियली द ज्ञातृ ज्ञान ज्ञेय, देयरफॉर दैट यू एलिमिनेट एंड यू रिकॉग्नाइज द सेल्फ, दैट परम व्योमा व्हेन यू टेक एज अव्याकृत आकाशा, वह कुछ नहीं है। अब कैसे करोगे आप वो साधना, वो नहीं हो सकता। Therefore, अव्याकृत आकाश की बजाय यहाँ परम व्योम is बुद्धि only. So, गुहायाम परमे व्योमन means that parama vyoma akasha of buddhi only is called a chittakash. So, in the chittakash only through meditation you reach to chidakasha. There is one more akasha in between called as avyakrita akasha, from where the entire world came, but आप उसको छेड़ नहीं सकते. You cannot touch it because it's avyakrita. Interesting it is. थोड़ा सा दिमाग यहाँ लगाना पड़ता है. Tomorrow we'll see, it will come. ओम 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 ओम. Today entire day be observant about the Triputi happening. That is called as Buddhi. When the Triputi is dropped, that is called as Brahma. I am. इतना एक्सरसाइज कर ले आज होमवर्क में, बहुत फायदा हो. देन टुमारो थोड़ा और ऐड करेंगे. देन आफ्टर सोच टू दे सर्वान कामान इज सेड. Then the same thing will be elaborately explained through the Panchakosha Viveka. It is very good. Thank you for your patient listening. Let us study little of our yoga also.